So let me begin with a report on the activities of your board in 2015. Over the past year, the board has successfully completed all initiatives related to the leadership of the bank, namely the CEO transition, as well as the nomination of a renewed management team and the development of a new strategic plan. The board ensured a smooth transition between Régent Robitaille's departure and the appointment of his successor, François Desjardins. François' stellar career at the bank to date gives him a strong foundation for his role as Chief Executive Officer. The board is confident that under François' leadership, our organization will be successful in its transformation while continuing to deliver good financial results. In 2015, the Board of Directors also actively participated, along with the renewed management team, in the adoption of the bank's new strategic plan. The renewed partnership between the management team and the board is vital to Laurentian Bank's ability to successfully carry out its transformation, stimulate growth, and create long-term value for its shareholders. The board remains committed to advise and support the executive team in the transformation of the bank and will closely monitor the advancement of the strategic plan. In 2015, the board continued to focus on the advancement of several initiatives to maintain its governance practices at a leading edge. We believe that strong leadership in the area of governance also creates long-term value for the shareholders. The bank places a great deal of effort in assessing its requirement for the board. We use a matrix of key competency expertise to ensure an optimal board composition. We look for the balance between experience and skills. We are also taking into consideration diversity, geographic representation. We believe that the composition of the board is of paramount importance as it reflects the capacity to properly carry out its responsibilities. Recognizing the benefits that diversity brings, we have adopted a board diversity policy. To this end, when considering candidates for directorships, we take into account the complementarity of skills, regional knowledge, industry experience, gender, and ethnic background. In terms of female leadership, the bank has always been in the forefront. We are proud to be a member of the Canadian chapter of the 30% Club, an international group whose goal is to have women account for at least 30% of directorships by 2019. We have already surpassed that threshold. Within the financial services industry, we are among the institutions with the highest representation of women on our board. Of the proposed independent directors that are nominated today, 50% are women. The bank's efforts are not limited to the board of directors and extend to all decision-making levels within the organization, where over 50% of managers are women. The last 10 years, the bank has appointed 10 new independent directors in an effort to continuously renew its membership. The only non-independent director is the president and CEO. The process for nominating directors is driven by the Human Resources and Nominating Committee and is independent for management. Today's meeting includes amendments to the bank's general bylaws, starting with the repeal of cumulative voting. Rarely used in Canada today, it's a legacy of when one shareholder was able to own more than 10% of the votes attached to our common shares, and required then under the Bank Act the adoption of cumulative voting for the election of directors. This situation no longer exists, and consequently our bylaws needs to reflect the new reality. In addition, the Board of Directors amended the bank's general bylaws to provide for a variable number of directors to be elected each year, with a minimum of 7 directors and a maximum of 13. This change will allow the board to be more flexible and proactive. Other amendments are proposed today, which are more technical in nature and are explained in our proxy circular. The 11 nominees proposed for the election of the board this year are current directors of Laurentian Bank. They bring with them experience, competencies needed for the board to fully perform its duties. I'm very proud to be chair of such a strong and well-balanced board of directors. In fact, the board is composed of both long-standing and more recent members, as well as professionals from a variety of different backgrounds and fields of expertise, including corporate governance, risk management, financial and banking expertise, corporate social responsibility, human resources, technology. I would like to thank all of our directors for their leadership and hard work over the past year. Take this opportunity to emphasize the excellent work of the board's 3 committees on matters that are essential to the bank's effective management. The Audit Committee chaired by Richard Bélanger, the Risk Management Committee chaired by Michel Labonté, as well as the Human Resources and Corporate Governance Committee led by Jean Bazin. They all have devoted a great deal of effort and energy again this year to in their respective spheres of responsibility. 2 of our current directors are not standing for re-election after long and distinguished careers to the board of directors. They are Jean Bazin and Pierre Genet. We have had the good fortune to be able to draw on Jean's experience for 24 years and on Pierre for over 10 years. Their skills and abilities have always been appreciated. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Jean and Pierre for their invaluable contribution to the success of the bank. And on behalf of the board, all employees, I would like to thank them for their dedicated service. I wish to express my gratitude as well to the bank management team, whose cooperation and competence are greatly appreciated by the board. I wish also to thank the employees who are dedicated and committed to maintaining our clients' trust. On behalf of the board, I also wish to thank our shareholders for their confidence and support, and whose interests we will continue to serve in 2016 and beyond. We will now continue with the meeting, starting with the appointment of scrutineers.